And Mind Crypto here. I hope we're all having a wonderful day. As usual, please remember I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. And any of the information provided in this video is not a signal to buy or to sell. But first and foremost, we look at these crypto bubbles. And as we can see, it's a little bit greener today, which is always nice. And as you can see, Quant at $106, ranked 57, market cap of $1.28 billion. And 24-hour volume is really low at $13.47 million. We've got to be patient here, guys. We're going to talk a little bit about that in a moment. And we can see we are up 0.1% in the hour, down 0.7% in the day, down 5.5% in the week. And in the last 30 days, we are down 26.2%. And yeah, that hurts for people that look at the short term. Doesn't bother me in the slightest because, as I know, holding long term for me is where I will see my gains. I'm not looking at pump and dumps. I get a lot of people say to me, well, why don't you diversify into something that will pump? Well, as I always say, I could do that. And then what could happen is Quant could go any minute and then I'll be buying back using those profits to get at a higher price. I'm not bothered about playing around. And not only that, every time I do a transaction here in the UK, it's a taxable event. We must remember that as well, which is very important. And you wouldn't want to get caught out in any way. So that's why I hold. That's why I'm not here to play games. I'm not here to, not be able to sleep at night because I'm worried. I sleep very well at night knowing that I hold Quant. And we do look at our short-term trading through our trade analysis on Bull Shark Trading. And he goes here doing what Quant does and reverting to $100 mean. With the market stumping, we have since seen some large transaction buys over the last few days. He says, check out my Twitter handle, which is mindcrypto_ for big wallet stalking. We can see we mitigated the POC, causing price to push back a little higher. Now with price stalling somewhat, we could see a test of the POC with another rejection, giving us a double bottom formation. Will be targeted the unfilled fair value gap. A further drop down, we look for support trend line to hold and price to mitigate our other buy areas. The team, as I've noted previously, have been really quiet on social media. As we know from past experience, this usually means they are cooking something up. Now, I'm getting a lot of my information away from Twitter regards to the team. It seems that they're just not posting on Twitter, and that could be a reason. We don't know what that is, but we know in some ways that this coin isn't for retail. This is for the institutions. Now, as we can see here, I saw another large transaction yesterday, and this private wallet from CB 5 hours ago, 3,169 Quant. The total transactions for this wallet, which was new from yesterday, was 6,222 Quant, which is $650,000. And my thoughts are, you sell, they stock it up. Now, as you can see, there was 2 transactions just here. We see the 3,000, and then we see further 3,000 Quant. And these are new wallets. We need to ask, are these lockup license wallets? Because there seems to be lots of new ones popping up. Because none of these wallets that I follow have any outflows. So they're not market makers. Now, I did actually see this other wallet. I think it's probably not an institutional wallet or anything to do with lockups, but was a large transaction of 4,251. Now, they are seeing value in this coin with those types of transactions, because that was a nearly $500,000 transaction through Binance. So my question is, are these lockups licenses? Now, what people need to understand, and I get lots of questions, just like this one, large buys in 1 or 2 wallets will not bring decent volume. Volume price can only go down. Now, I get what he's saying, but he's not looking at the sentiment or the understanding of what these big wallets are. For me, the sentiment, if people are buying this in large chunks, new wallets that are no outflows, that suggests to me someone sees value in this coin. And that's the whole point of market depth. You see where the money's going and what they're doing with it. And I got around about 15 to 20 wallets that are just holding and doing nothing with it. And my argument here is you see a lot of people sell off because they're getting bored. And that effectively is the game. They will hold this down until they're ready. They've got enough. And that's these big wallets. If they're licensed locker, I don't know. But there are whales in this game that will manipulate the price to keep it where it is. And then eventually retail get bored because they start looking at other projects that are booming and they start putting their money elsewhere. And that's how you get wrecked effectively, because Quant will go when Quant wants to go. And we've heard so much from GV over the years with his predictions, with his ideas. Now, I see this. Now, if we look at Gilbert and the crumbs and the foresight that he has and he's had over the years, sometimes he gives us these nuggets of truth. And this is in reference to a tweet that he was talking about Apple issuing an Apple dollar. Now, he says here, now PayPal has launched its own USD stablecoin. Consumers don't understand wallets with OX123 addresses and complex blockchain workflows. They just want frictionless transactions, acceptance, choice, and easy use interface. Another example of tech companies transitioning into financial services. Can argue PayPal was one of the early pioneers. But we read further. This use case was behind the idea of launching Remit in 2013 with Sassoon, Reg in 2015, to have blockchain rails to settle tokenized money for cross-border and remittance flows. The idea was to embed new blockchain payment flows into banking apps and super apps. X and PayPal are one of the first to implement the tokenized money use case at scale. In 2013, the underlying blockchain foundation and interoperable infrastructure didn't exist. The gap we saw to pivot and first solve the underlying infrastructure and gateway for institutional and enterprise use interoperability, which became Overledger. This thinking led to establishing the ISO standard TC307 in 2015, and the use case evolved to Quant Network in 2017. Now, in 2023, the underlying foundation and interoperable blockchain infrastructure are in place for institutional and enterprise use. It's a matter of time for more financial services incumbents to integrate digital asset flows with tokenized money, such as a commercial bank, deposits, liabilities, regulated stablecoins, and CBDCs. And as we can see here, the Remit our approach. Now, a lot of people need to read between the lines. What is he giving us here? We can see a question here. Correct me if I'm wrong, but what you actually are saying is that PayPal is and X will be using Quant's technology. We can see here, Gator. Yes, if they want the connection, they will need to use Quant for interoperability between systems, and that means locked. Now, are we seeing all these big wallets that I'm watching? They're all lockups. Are they storing? And we've got to remember that BlackRock uses Coinbase as its main place of storage. Now, we also see this a while back. I put this out and Quant sowing the seeds, Gilbert leaving crumbs wherever he goes. And this was a while back, this video. We can see I put here Quant, make.com, Twitter payments. Well, there is a link because as we know, we can see connect Overledger and Twitter integrations. This was from the make.com website. And if we see here, this was a while back, Gilbert Verdian talking Twitter. Let's have a listen.
Payments using an existing platform like Twitter. So having that connected to bank systems, to central bank digital currency systems, peer-to-peer systems, we're going to have a new type of payments using an existing platform.
There you go. So all that information that we're seeing, the lockups, these big wallets not moving anything, him talking about PayPal and payments and all this other stuff. And then we see this video, which he was, again, foresight. Is it foresight or does he actually know? Now, his foresight equals my patience. I research and look at all these little nuggets of where this could all be going. Now, this is just patience because patience is something we all need to behold. And like with anything, if you can see the benefits of Quant, then obviously you're going to look into where this is headed. And that's what I've been doing. That's what I do every day. So there you go. If you connect all of that and some of the words and the language that Gilbert Verdian has been using over the last few years, you know, this is absolutely amazing stuff. And we look at the large wallets, that gives me an idea of what's going on. Then we look at the language, the messaging that Gilbert's been using on Twitter, only leads me to believe that we are very, very early. Now, for me, as you know, this is a long-term hold. My idea of what I'm doing is I'm stacking up on certain coins that I believe are going to do very well in the next bull run. I've also got my bag of Quant. Now, dependent on where the price goes in 2025, I may sell some, but the majority I'm going to save. But I'm going to use my other bags to bring in profits and everything else because I believe Overledger Quant Network is going places. So there you go, guys. Remember, none of this is financial advice. This is just my personal opinion. I'm some guy that does my own research, but you should be doing little bits of your own as well. So with bits of information that's provided all over the place, you just got to start connecting those dots. So there you go. All the best, and I'll catch you later.